This conference
So,
will now be recorded.
so let's make our session interactive, our demo interactive. Okay, so every class will be interactive. Okay. Sir, can someone quickly confirm if my screen is visible? Sir, any one of you unmute yourself and just quickly confirm me, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, we're able to see.
Fine, right? Thanks. Okay. Sir, first, before we start our session, Azure Data Unit. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Raj. Okay, I have 10 plus years of experience in IT. Okay, I have worked on different technologies. Okay, like MSBA, Connect, and Azure Data Engineering, Big Data and Azure Data Engineering. And now I am working as an architect. Okay, so is it clear, sir, everyone? Okay, next, sir. Next, next thing. So first, first point. Before going everything into data engineering, Azure data engineering, these things. Okay. So any freshers here? Hello. Any freshers, sir? No freshers, right?
Yes, I am fresher.
Okay, fine. Thanks, sir. Thanks for your response. Okay. So let me start from scratch. Yeah. So before going to data engineering, these things, everything. Okay. First thing. So Azure data engineering, it's an engineering. It's an set of services, services stack offered by Microsoft. Okay. I'm saying about not data engineering, Azure data engineering. It's a set of services stack offered by Microsoft, hosted on its cloud, Azure. Okay. So, so before going to this Microsoft, these things, blah blah blah. So first thing, my first question to everyone. So let me share. So what are data today's our agenda? Okay. So let me start from scratch for everyone. So for a novice user, okay. Sir, can someone say what is data? Hello, data.
So data is we can able to calculate and we can measure something. So that is called data.
Okay, sir. Okay. Any other definition? So just give a try, sir. If it's so no problem. So whoever want to give a try, just give a try. So first of all, sir, whatever you said is correct. But first thing, data is a collection of raw facts. Collection of raw facts. Okay. Anything can be data. A set of sequence of characters can be data. Okay. Or your numerics. numerics. It can be your digits or mixture of digits or something, anything special character. So everything is a data. Okay, got it? So anything which are a collection of raw facts, we call them as a data. First point. Next, we go to my PPT. See, as I said, data is a collection of raw facts or objects or entities in the real world. We classify them as a data. Next, what do you mean by information? Information is nothing but the processed data. We call it as an information by which we can gain a knowledge. So whatever data you got it. Suppose you got a three. Suppose you have some three digits or some like three four numbers. So either you can do a sum or you can do I can add, subtract or something. Finally, you get a output result, right? Based on the result, whatever the information, whatever the result, which gives you some knowledge, we call them as an information. Clear, clear, everybody. So information is a processed data. We call them as information by which we gain some knowledge. By using this, we will provide some solution, which we find a solution. Got it? Clear, right? Still here? Hello? Sir, audible, right? Just respond on quickly
Yeah,
unmute
yeah, it's
yourself.
clear. Yes.
Yeah, fine, sir. Thanks. Okay, then. Let me continue. So, now, next question. Sir, what kind of data you see, sir, every day? Types of data. So, before going into everything, just I'm going with the basic. What kind of data you see, sir, in your everyday real world? Sir, everyone uses PC, right? Hello? Hello? Sir, everyone
Yeah,
uses this, sir. What types of data we have, sir, in the world? The first thing we have. One is structured. One is structured data. Second one, semi-structured. And third one, what kind of data you have, sir? Unstructured. Fine, unstructured data we have. So, next slide. Okay, see types of data next. How we categorize our data is like in the real world: structured, unstructured, semi-structured. Got it right? So, can someone say what is structured data? Structured data is nothing but which is easy to read and which is in the form of your either rows and columns and which will give you some meaningful information when you see in the first point. Okay, that we call it as a structured data, organized data. Next, semi-structured data. So, which is structured up to some extent, but okay, which are like which is not which is not that much, which doesn't gives you that much information, but you will get some idea when you see in that first point. So structured data will give you some clarity of the picture. So what kind of data is it? So what is gonna do? What can we derive from it? Okay. Semi-structured means a mixture of structured plus unstructured data, and finally unstructured data. What is your unstructured data, sir? Everyone, your audio files, video files. Am I correct, sir? Your mixture of data, special characters you are chatting, your Insta, your FB, so everything. The mixture of your characters, emojis, we call them as an unstructured data, which doesn't have a definite shape. We call it as an unstructured data. Okay, fine here. Any doubts? So we have three. We have categorized the data in the three types in the world, that is structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Okay. So for structured data, as I said, we have a predefined data model. What do you mean by data model? A specific shape? a specific organized format. We call it as a structured data. Coming to unstructured data, no predefined data formats. Then we call it as an unstructured data. So either your image or your group mixture of characters which doesn't have a definite shape. And semi-structured data, loosely organized. That means which is a mixture of both structured and unstructured. Okay, we call them as semi-structured data. Next, so see, data represented as I said in the form of rows and columns, definite shape. So what we return, what is the meaning of it? So we call it as a structured data. Next, so what are your examples of your structured data? Like your traditional databases, SQL, Oracle, MySQL. Okay, these are all the examples of structured data which has a tightly coupled predefined data model. So that what is as I said, data model is nothing but a predefined structure. Okay, how your data is interconnected with each other. So which has a definite shape. So we can extract some information when you see then and itself. Okay, that we call it as a structured data. Next, coming to semi-structured data, the data which you store in the form of your files, and you have a some degree of organized structure, the mixture of your structured and unstructured, that we call it as a semi-structured data. Examples of your semi-structured data is like your JSON, HTML. These are all the examples of your semi-structured data. Okay. Next, as I said, unstructured data. So which doesn't have any specific data model, specific format, which, from which using for whatever the data you have, it's somewhat harder to derive some information from it, as it doesn't have a predefined data model or some what we say, sir, loosely coupled to each other. So we want so to derive some data the information is some harder. Okay, so your unstructured data is like your audio files, video files, social media content, all these things we call it as an unstructured data. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So as we said, these are the three types of data in the categorized in the real world. Okay, fine. So as is we are learning Azure data engineering, first I am going with the term called data. So what do you mean by your data and what were there in this data part? Okay, fine, cool, right, guys? Next point. What do you mean by this engineering, sir? Data engineering. So keep it that Azure this part blah 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 by side. What do you mean by data engineering? You people who are sophisticated professionals responsible for shaping this shaping this structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data into a meaningful information so that your enterprise organization can do some analytics, perform some analytics on this part, on this data for their business. Okay, got it right? Engineering, data engineering is nothing but performing the what sir, what we call performing some operations on this data, which will shape out into meaningful information, so that the enterprise, which helps your enterprise business, okay, which helps your enterprise business to perform some data analytics. What do you mean by data analytics? Anything is nothing but how with this whatever the data you provided, with this what are the necessary steps they need to perform to get the desired results. They will be working on that, so they perform their data analytics. Okay, got it right? Data analytics means data analytics. They perform some analytics on this data, or they perform some reporting. Reporting is nothing but, sir, recently we faced a disaster in our world, COVID. Am I correct, everyone? Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sir, everyone. Sir, freshers, please respond, sir. Okay? Sir, recently we have seen the biggest disaster in our world, COVID. So, when the COVID, sir, they have every country has their own data, right? So, how many cases they got it? What is the mortality rate? Everything. So how many got recorded? Okay, am I correct? Hello, hello. So okay, fine. So how many got recorded? How many got hospitalized? What happened to their economy? Everything. These statistics. So each and every hospital. Let's take a classic example. Each and every hospital provides their. So how many patients admitted in their hospital? So how much they got discharged? So how many mortality? And other thing, what sir? So what is the vaccines they have used? So which vaccine has given the, like each hospital which has a vaccine has given what sir? Good results for a patient recovery. So let's take this use case, okay? So if you see any government of any country, what they will do, sir? If you take an health guidelines of any country, so these people will be collecting data from each organization, right? Hello, hello. So each people will be each organization they collect data from each hospital or each it can be their government PUCs or it can be a private case or anything corporate or something. So they collect all the information. So in the back end, a person like you, we call them as an BI developers or BA engineers. Okay, data engineers, business intelligence engineers. So in the what is the so let me go and explain like this. So you get a good clarity. Okay, let me open the paint. Cool. So these are the small organizations like your hospitals or something. So let's take this as like your government data repository. That means like every hospital sending their everyday data to the government. Okay. So how they will send, sir? From here. So they cannot go and give a paper, right? So there should be something a front end application. Am I correct? Hello. There should be a something a website or something where they can upload the data. Am I correct, sir?
Correct.
So this is front
Yes.
end application. Fine, thanks. Front end application. Fine, cool. Now this front-end application, every day they upload the data. And this front-end application, what it will do, sir? It will deposit the everyday data from each organization into a place called some database. It can be their file system or somewhere. Some transactional data, whatever they upload, everything, the file, it will be dumped over here. Here comes your role, your data engineer's role. We call them as an ETL process. So ETL is a backend process which every organization uses. It can be your insurance, it can be your banking, it can be your okay, it can be your WhatsApp. Any enterprise organization which has their front end application, okay, which gets their data and dumps into some their storage system and from here your part ETL process. What is your ETL process? ETL is nothing but, as I said, to perform any data analytics, we need a set of tools and a definite architecture. So where we can get the data. So whenever each organization has dumped from, let's take one country as an example. Okay. So whenever the data dumped from every organization from each state, okay, every hospital, it can be government PPC, it can be a private or anything. So based on the state, based on the mortality rate, something government performance perform some analytics, right? And give, and finally they give you a certain guidelines, right? So which medicine you need to use, which thing you need to use, how is the bed count in every hospital, so how many beds will be vacated. Am I correct, sir? These analytics will be performed using a process in the backend called ETL process. Here comes the role of your data engineer. Whatever the data you get it, dumped in a some certain place, data segregation, doing some analytics like performing some set of queries which is needed to provide an information on the data and finally giving an output. So here we call it this process called ETL process. As I said, this ETL process is on every organization. Okay, so What a clarity rate ETL means extract, transform, load. That means extract, transform, and load it. Or other thing they perform called ELT, extract, load, and transform. Two processes, extract, load, and transform it there. Okay. This process ETL we call it as earlier. Sir, before getting this ETL, this blah blah blah, how we need to process the data, sir? When a data, like when you send a data to your front end application, something you upload it. So how you need to do, sir, this process? Hello? If you go for backs 90s, 80s, so how the data used to collect and store, sir? So like before going to that, let me introduce this point. Sir, how you used to store the data, sir? Can anyone?
So we can store data in SQL. From there, we can represent
Not data, not no, sir. Earlier stages when computer was invented, how, sir? Before computer.
in Excel sheet.
Not Excel, sir. We used to write in the form of notebooks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So no computer, nothing. Just think of the like that. Okay, it will be stored in the form of your notebooks. Am I correct? Finally, in the year you used to do some calculations, some measurabilities and something, anything. It can be a small organization or something. It can be their accounts or anything. So how many employees I deployed this year? How many salaries I have given? So anything, everywhere it's an analytics, right? In any business organization, am I correct? How much product may purchase? Let's take your DMart or your what your example, sir? Your Flipkart, Amazon. When Amazon started, how many customers, sir? Maybe thousand. When the year end, how many customers? So Amazon can't keep track every day, right? How many customers were there logging today? How many customers left my site? Am I correct? At the year end, they need an analysis, a final figure. So how much my business is running. So for these things, we need, as I said, we need something called ETL process. So this ETL process will run in the background for performing analytics for a business organization to perform their analytics on the data. Whatever the data they obtain from their front end applications. Okay, what it? So this ETL process, the people who perform this ETL process, earlier we used to call them as BI developers. Now there is a new term came into the market called data engineers. Okay, what an idea? What is data engineering about? Everyone. Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, we
Yes,
got it.
sir. Sir, can someone quickly respond, sir? Okay, fine, thanks. Thanks for your time. Yeah. So because of this, a new word coming to the market called data engineer. So earlier also before this ETL BI, so a Java developer or .NET developer used to perform the analytics based on the front end, whatever the front end developer, whatever the application developed in .NET or Java or PHP or any language. They also used to perform this analytics parts. Your these languages, okay, but these what is the major drawback? Why can we our why our this shifted to ETL process means some ETL means so whenever they do with Java, .NET and everything, what happened is like we did not get accurate results. Okay, first point. And whatever the applications, whatever the language you are using, it takes huge amount of coding. Hello. So for a developer to do this analytics, get it whatever the result, it takes a huge amount of coding and huge amount of manpower, and there is no result. And these are two drawbacks. Third drawback, time latency. Okay, so the time to get the desired result, it takes much amount of time. Then our these people thought like we need some process, some set of tools for doing this process separately. Then a word coming to the market called ETL, extract, transport or BI, business intelligence from Microsoft. ETL. Using this ETL, then you got different tools into the market for performing this ETL. So MSBI from Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft. Same way, you have an Informatica for doing the same work. Okay. We have Evanissio. Issue. So based on their organization, they used to use these different tools, okay, based on their data. You have Ab initio. You have something called talent. So there are set of tools introduced in the market so that the work which developer, who is the front end developer, who is a .NET coder, or who can be a Java coder, what he is doing, that got negated in the market. The huge amount of time, manpower negated in the market because they introduced a set of tools into the market so that a person can easily perform this analytics, data cleaning. So what is this extract, transform, load process? They can perform easily and get the accurate results, 99% results. Okay. Hello.
Yeah,
Got
yes,
it
sir.
right?
Yeah.
So due to this result, an ETL came into the market, and this ETL, what are the tools I said? MSBI from Microsoft. So Microsoft introduced a tool called SSIS for this. Like Informatica, SSIS from Microsoft, Informatica from some other organization, Talent from some other organization. So this SSIS and integration tool, okay. So to work, we used to work on this ETL process using SSIS, okay. But what happened coming, like your data size got increased, first point, okay. So, sir, if you see next, my next slide. So, sir, have you ever heard about like big data? Anyone? So, I may like, I may guess like you people have seen something like a big data somewhere. Am I correct? A word. Hello,
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have.
we heard.
I have
sir.
heard
Ever some?
big data and Hadoop.
Yeah, big data, right, sir? So, what is big data, sir? So, data first. Big data refers to data which is very huge in size and complex to work on. Okay. So, so So which is very huge in size and complex to work on. So what are the BI tools they introduced here? Okay. So earlier the data is very small. So what are the tools they introduced in the market? It was compatible this data and it got fine. But whenever the data size, mixture of data, wide variety of applications, wide variety of data. Suppose let's take an your Facebook or something like your classic example, sir, your Facebook. What can we do on Facebook, sir? Can someone? You can chat, am I correct? Hello? Hello? Sir, you can post an image, you can chat, you can post a video. Am I correct? One person doing multiple tasks, mixture of data, am I correct? Some lots,
Correct. Correct.
some lots. So,
Right.
different kinds of data with huge size. So, is this whatever the tools we designed? So, earlier we have a small amount of data and definite shape of data. But wide variety of data increase, size of the data increased in the market. So there comes something called, then we there is something in the market called big data, which we call it as Hadoop. The system developed in the market in the early 2000s, or yeah, in the early 2000s, called Hadoop, Hadoop distributed Hadoop. So which has managed somewhat in the market. Okay, what are the data you are getting? Mixture of data. So earlier, what are the data you are getting is structured data here, definite shape from the front end application. Sir, suppose you fill a form, Excel sheet. Am I correct? Definite shape of data. Am I correct? Now, when you are going for video KYC, sir, everyone using your banking, right? Your video KYC. What kind of data, sir? Hello? Sir, it's an image file, right? Different kind of data. So your front-end application, earlier there is no this concept like mixture of data. Some definite data models, definite shape of data, they developed these tools. So then when the wide variety of data, when the wide variety of data has been increased and the size of the data has been increased, so people thought again, we need something a framework. We then they introduced something called for this big data. They coined this as a big data, and they introduced some framework called Hadoop. Okay, so what is this big data basically having? Okay, this big data basically we have five E's. This big data stands on five E's. Okay, see, yeah, see, sir, five E's. Your big data is basically on five E's. What, sir? Velocity, volume of data, the size of the data. First V is, so in the market, A big data, like what do you mean by big data means we have some 5Vs. What is this 5Vs? Data is classified with these 5Vs. Okay, as a big data. Volume of data, okay. Huge size of data. First one. Second one, variety, structured, semi-structured, unstructured. Veracity, whatever data you are sending, we need as I said, a system which developed, which should accept these 5Vs of data. So they created a system called Hadoop which accepts these 5Vs of data. One is volume, huge volume they can accommodate by itself. Second one, variety, mixture of data. Veracity, whatever the data I send, my system should be able to accept the same thing, the trust. If I keep some data in some place, I should have a trust like there won't be any corruption or something. Veracity, value, whatever data whatever data you are keeping, it should have a value so that you should be in a state to derive something from it. And velocity, whatever the system I designed, whatever the speed at which my data is coming, okay, and the changes occurring in the data, diversified data sets, it should accommodate. Okay, hello. So they developed a system in the market when the market became widen and different kind. They developed something called, as I said, for this big data Hadoop system. So it has served for some years now. Now it's serving. It's fine now. So next coming to format of data. Different formats of big data. We have a CSV, JSON, Parquet, or so then whatever the system you develop, it's fine, it's accommodating the data, but there is a change in the format. Then next came something called change in the format of the data. Okay, data formats. So earlier it's CSV file, sir. Suppose you have 1 lakh rows. How much MB, sir, file? Maybe 20 MB. Hello, hello, sir. Let's take your SBI bank, sir. How many customers, sir, across the world? Maybe if they take the customer data sheet, how many customers? Maybe 1 crore, 2 crore. Am I correct? Or 1 million,
Yeah.
maybe. Hello, fine. So if I keep that same thing, if I get that data and if I process all the things, how much time it takes, sir? And how much storage space it requires, sir? For storing my 1 million customers in a play, in a hard disk or in a drive. Huge space, right? So what people thought is
Correct.
like we need some lightweight systems or lightweight data holding systems, different formats of data. Then we got your JSON, Parquet, the different kinds of data introduced in the market. Okay, big data formats. Now, when this was came in, there are then data processing types also been splitted. Two types. One is batch processing, and one is stream processing. Okay. So what do you mean by batch processing here? Batch processing is nothing but whatever data you are obtaining, if you see from different devices, you are holding in somewhere in a storage system, and you are processing the data and you are sending it to for a final output, and then you are performing data analytics. When coming to stream processing, whatever data you get, are your cricket matches, live matches, your video games, playing when you are playing with someone. Am I correct? Then in itself you need to process, right? Am I correct, sir? Stream. So whatever you are getting the data, I need to just hold for very less, like very minute time, and I need to process it. Am I correct? So there are two types of processing introduced in the system called, earlier it's everything batch. We collect all the data, we process in a day, end of the day. Now there is a stream process like your video files, mixtures, as I said. So two types of process came into the market called batch processing and stream processing. Next, as I said, Hadoop. Once big data came into the picture, you some tools to, as I said, to equify with this data, we have this so much of tools introduced in the market. So earlier when Hadoop was there, these are all the tools. These are set of mixture of tools we used to use to perform and give an answer to a question. Okay. When Hadoop was introduced, we used to use these many tools. And see, this is the ecosystem. See, for data management, we used to use earlier Zookeeper. Data access, we used to use some Hive pig like this. For data processing, we used to use MapReduce. See, for data storage, we used to HDFS. In the okay, now, okay. Earlier, when Hadoop came into the market on this big data. Next, when data expansion has been increased, and when if you see the stats, earlier WhatsApp handles 60 billion messages a day. Google processes 40,000 search queries per second. Average user spend 35 minutes on Facebook. So when you see, when this data growth has been exponentially increased, I need to have some systems which can store, as I said again, which can process this data efficiently again and which can give me results in better time. Then new set of tools with the name data engineering introduced in the market. Okay, and these tools are hosted in something called cloud. So what are the tools which are hosted on Microsoft? We have a cloud called Azure. Okay, Azure is a product from Microsoft, a cloud product. So what are the tools we are hosted on the cloud of Microsoft? We are calling it as an Azure Data Engineering. Using those tools, we are what you are sir, you are extracting some meaningful information so that you can perform your analytics on your data or reporting on your data or whatever the requirement for your data. We call them as an data engineering. Azure Data Engineering. Got an idea, right? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Sir, any doubts still here? I'll give a pause for 2 minutes. Any doubts, please ask me. Hello?
So can you please explain me what is batch processing? So it is like batches wise it will process, or at
At
the end of the day it need to be result.
not end of today, sir. Okay. Batch processing is nothing but see. Lengthy. That means you have a huge amount of data. Okay. So you collect all this data. Okay. Suppose, sir, you have some. Let's take your example. Your banking or some not banking. So take some example. Any industry, sir. Suppose you have some around, like, let's take your any industry or banking. Let's take an example of banking. So what do you mean by batch processing is like we have a fix, we have like what you, as I said, we have a front end applications, right, which collects your transactional data. So whatever the transactions you perform, so I will store all these transactions in a device in some storage. Then
Okay.
once, like, I will keep a window, like I want to process this data for every 30 minutes. I want to give a result to my bank manager. I want to send a report to my bank manager. Today in your bank, these many happen. These many transactions happen in this 30 seconds. This is the highest amount. Just take a classic example. This is the customer who done highest amount transaction. Okay, for every 30 minutes, my manager requirement is he want to see the day, he want to know about his transactions. So what we do, we collect all this data and place it in there, and we keep some window for either it can be 30 minutes or 1 day or 45 minutes. That's your wish based on their requirement. What we will do, you will process this data, whatever you get it, that we call it as batches. We are processing in the small parts. So suppose your bank started at 10 o'clock. The manager wanted reported something at 11 or for every 1 hour. So whatever the data you received from 10 to 11, we process it at 11 o'clock and we'll send him by 11:05. So this storage, so there is a time latency, right, for storing data and keeping it in some storage. This transactional data we process in the form of batches, right? Again from again window 11 to 12. Gather the data from 11 to 12 once again and give him a report. Finally, in the end of the day, combine all these small parts in a single report. So finally, in the end of the what I need, yet how many biggest transactions, like let's keep an transaction amount like one lakh as in baseline. Finally, in this how hours, who are all the customers in the day done more than 1 lakh transactions? Got it, right?
Yeah, yeah, got
Combining
it,
all
sir.
these
Yeah,
batches,
thank you.
yeah, that we call it as a batch process.
Yeah, good.
Fine, thanks. Fine, thanks, sir. Next. Yeah, coming to our PPT again. So as I said, exponential growth of data. See, earlier when Microsoft or Amazon started, there may be some few customers, but when WhatsApp, see, 60 billion messages, Google, so 300 hours of YouTube were uploaded every minute. So we need some systems which can store this huge amount of data, sir, YouTube videos. So YouTube and which can store this huge amount of data, first point. And if, to process this data, we need some sophisticated systems, as it's a mixture again with major complexity. So with this, a new thing came into the market called data engineering. Okay, so when coming to data engineering, there are too many definitions, okay, on the internet. But in general, what a data engineer, as I said, develops and maintain a software system that can process data based on the organization requirement. for the usage of data analytics and reporting teams. Okay. So what are the data? As I said, what are the front-end application gives back-end and ETL process will run, extend, transport, load, and you will provide some data for this further analysis, data analytics, or something for the reporting. Fine. Okay. Now, so next agenda is you learn why data is the profiling domain. Okay. These are all next agenda. So as I said, why data engineers and who is a data engineer? Data engineer is nothing but an IT worker whose primary job is to prepare data for analytics and operational users. These software engineers typically responsible for building data pipelines. What are these data pipelines, sir? Sir, every day you are getting same data. Will you do every day, sir? Same thing, same work? Hello? Sir, you are getting like, let's take an example, sir. Your bank, SBI, State Bank of India, or your some Bank of America. Every day they are getting the transaction data. Am I correct? So as I said, my classic example, your manager needs every hour report for all from all the banks, or your regional manager of the bank needs some report for every hour. Who is the highest transaction from all the branches? Sir, every day a person will sit and extract and run it, sir. So we created data pipeline, a workflow. This will automate every day because I know same data will come from my application. So I will do some automation process so that every day he will get that report. Am I correct? So that is a data pipeline. We have a set of activities which gives your desired result, and the same set of activities, instead of you creating activity every day, you keep it in a pipeline and you do an automation on that so that they will so that every day it will run by itself without manual intervention. That we call it as a data pipeline. Okay. Here data pipeline bring together information from different source systems. They integrate, consolidate, and cleanse the data structure for the analytics applications. What is doing by cleansing, data cleansing, data cleaning here. So you have a data. Sir, suppose, hello, let's take as I said your banking example, sir. What we are doing, sir, in the banking? Sir, some person may do some banking cancellation, right? Transaction cancellation in the middle. Am I correct? Some will do a transfer, some will do a cancellation, account, credits, debits, everything, different set of data. But what manager interested? Only the highest transaction data. From each account, there will be multiple operations. Am I correct? Everything I need as a bank, I need to capture everything every day. Hello? It can be your credit or it can be your debit or anything. I need to capture it. Am I correct, sir? So data cleansing is nothing but transforming your data from one shape to other. And okay, first point, data cleaning is removing the unnecessary data. Okay, and using the necessary data for our result is called it as an data cleaning. Data cleaning here, whatever the necessary data we applied, we were shaping this data into an information for analytics purpose. We call it as a data cleansing. What is difference? So what you data engineers do, you do two things: data cleaning, data cleansing, using your ETL process. As I said, extract, transform, load. What are the backend process running? As a data engineer, you are responsible for doing data cleaning and data cleansing and shaping the data which is required for on the same data where I can perform my analytics or reporting or something, anything. What my end customer want to do. That's your job. Okay. Handle this data, huge amount of data, capture in your system. Okay. Perform your techniques, data cleaning and data cleansing techniques. Finally given necessary output to the end customer using your tools. Accurate 99.9 100% results. Okay. Next, coming to roles and responsibilities of a data engineer. Okay, as mentioned in specific slide, there is no specific exact role, okay, responsibility that can define the work of a data engineer, but in general, what usually we done, we can build and develop scalable data architecture, okay. So, data architecture is nothing but a predefined model. When you are getting these many of data, I need this model I will build some model of the activity so that this architecture I will apply on my data so that it will give me desired result. Build ETL pipelines, ELT and ETL pipelines, as I said, data pipelines. Extracting data from heterogeneous data sources. Sir, if you see, let's take an example of your airlines. Hello? Sir, how you are booking your tickets, sir, if in your airlines? Classic example. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we
No,
can
no,
hear
sir.
you.
No, sir. I'm not. What my question is, madam, how you are booking your ticket, sir? Airline ticket.
To website, airlines
Okay.
website,
Okay. Or
or Google search, Google flights, or
okay.
through
So
agents.
different sources. Yeah, through agents, right? So finally, the same data what you're getting the ticket from the final server of your airlines, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
So either you can use your Make My Trip, you can use your their site. Yeah, either someone will use your WhatsApp, the agent booking. Am I correct? Different. Finally, these applications were developed in different languages. Am I correct? So you don't guarantee right whatever my airline server language may be Java. You don't guarantee right my migrative trip also developed in Java, right? And same information it will be posted, right? So your airlines may ask different information when you go into the website. When you go into Make My Trip, it will ask different information. Am I correct? Common information is same everywhere, but some different information will be there, sir. And different information request will be sent, right? So what are the different information requests? What are the information coming from these many types of different applications? As a data engineer, you need to capture these things and only extract the necessary information for a, to give him a ticket. What do you need, sir? If there is a vacant seat or not. Am I correct? And when they are doing a payment, okay, I need to restrict other users not to do a payment on the same seat. Am I correct? I need to show them full, do a lock on the seat. So getting the information from heterogeneous data sources and do a lock. You are, as I said, extracting data. That means your Make My Trip may give some different data. Your website will give different data, but finally you need to extract only the necessary data for an booking of airline ticket. Okay. So for that we use various tools and technologies to perform the data in the reliable, standable format. See, and once your data architecture what we developed, you need some security, right? So you, whatever the framework you done and whatever you are working for your end customer, it should whatever you design, it should be secured, right? And it should align to the policies of the organization. These are the roles of your data engineer. Okay. Next, various positions held by your data engineer. Okay, or data architect, data engineer, database administrator. DBAs are nothing but giving your accesses, maintaining the security, maintaining the database consistency, these things. As I said, your architects who are responsible for designing this whole framework. Data engineers, you people are the developers, you who exactly work on developing the whatever the framework design, you people are the exact people who will develop this framework. Okay, architect will design the framework, how it should work and everything. You people are the necessary people to work on that, to build that framework. Okay, this is a raw out sketch design. Here the you are the exact persons, and database administrators are nothing but secure. What are the necessary resources needed by data engineer, they need to give the thing for their storage. Next, data scientist and a data engineer. Who is a data scientist? Who is a data engineer? As a data engineer, you build pipelines. Whatever the data provided by your data engineer will be given to the data scientist. Okay, so the statistics says for one data scientist there should be 8 data engineers. Okay, required in the market. So that is why huge demand of this data engineer to perform an analytics for my data from different, as I said, your COVID from different organizations. I need each separate data engineer for each location. He will be excuse me, sir. He will be consolidating this data and make it and keep it in a central repository. Then your data scientist will come into the picture. Okay, to perform the analytics. So for each data scientist, you need 8 data engineers. That is why this data is very hot scale in the market, sir. To perform any analytics for any organization on the backend, ETL should run. So for this ETL, huge amount of data, there is scarcity in the market for this data engineers now. Two data engineers who are well versed with the latest tools, latest techniques performing on the data. Okay. So if you see data in the top in demand, fast growing, 50% increase in the market than any other platforms, sir. Okay. Next, Coming how the data architecture, sample data architecture is this. See, ingest, explore, prepare, and train model. So getting the data from Petro, as I said, we call this process as called data ingestion. Okay, and exploring. That means, as I said, segregating, preparing for the future use, and finally placing it. So that then here, see, BI reporting, analytics, real-time analytics will come. So whatever you are getting your data, we are using in the storing in some place. We call it as a database. See, data life cycle will be like this. So this is Azure data engineering life cycle. See, ingest, explore, prepare, run, model, service, store. So these are all the different tools, excuse me, given by the Microsoft to work on as a data engineer. Okay. Any doubts are here?
What does the
Hello.
model do?
No.
This model is nothing but, madam, a framework.
I
Okay,
mean,
which
any
will use a
example?
design.
What kind of
Madam, your
frame?
this frameworks, madam, based on your different kind of data, your architect will design a frame. Suppose I am getting audio video files, I am getting data in Excel, I am getting in different file formats. First, what I need to do, I need to store in some place. Then, as I said, I need to do some data cleaning and data cleansing. So removing the unnecessary data and transferring the necessary data. Second step, set of steps, we call it as a framework here. Okay.
Yeah.
First, get the data, do some cleaning. Next, do the transformations. Finally, store it. Make it as an information. Then these people will come into the picture. Your data scientist, reporting, BI plus reporting, your Power BI people, Tableau. Sir, you have had these things right. They will show in the nice charts, whatever the data information you provide. They will use your information, they will do some analytics again. They will query your data, what are the modified data using this framework, and they will show in the pictorial representation. As an end customer, I don't know anything, right? I understood only, is it increase or decrease? Am I correct? A PPT. So your BA people will come into the picture then. Okay. So as a framework, these are all the tools given by your Microsoft. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay. So, but the reporting and all they can get from the third step itself, right? Preparation under the train. That what is that model and survey especially does it? What is the difference between
Data
prep?
warehouse. Data warehouse, madam. Huge repository. From here you'll get, but after how much, sir? How much your prepare and run? How much data it can hold in your CQ on your database, madam? So if I want to go back, someone let's go to your bank. So a person like you went to your bank and asked you, madam, like I want my statement. I have an account here from 20 years. I want first transaction statement. Who will give him, madam? So there should be some centralized system, right? That we call it model and service data warehouse. Keep it
Okay.
all the transactions in the same place. Suppose you asked for me the transaction, when I open my account, I want first month transaction report. Will it be available with your bank, madam, or will it be available with you? Somewhere they need to store in a centralized repository, right? All this data. So report is okay. Every month you are getting report. If you want that report, from where again they going to extract? A centralized repository model and server data warehouse. That we call it as a model and server. That means keeping your historical data, old data, current data will store it as in the transaction, like what are the friend and application giving. But those are not that much big systems to hold the data. So we need some centralized repository that we call it as model and server. Give a copy here and send it to BA copy here. So whatever I done, I need to keep survey, save it, right, for future use. One, and from here also you'll get it. But I need a copyright for that model and server data warehouse.
So,
Okay.
so you're duplicating the data. So you're keeping the same data in multiple systems.
Not duplicating, madam. Keeping one copy here. Suppose for 1 month bank transaction of there, I will place it today, April month or March month transaction. Again next month transaction. So how many? So finally I will get an for you for single customer 2023 file. Am I correct? Transaction file. So tomorrow a person like you came and asked you, I want January transaction in the 2025. What your people will do? Just query it where equal to 2023. They'll just give that and give your report. Query it. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, model and service is nothing but your data warehouse, huge repository, centralized repository. So this is the architecture of your, like, this is a general architecture, but based on your enterprise business solution, your architecture may vary. Okay, fine. Any doubts, sir? Hello, hello, everyone.
Yeah, sir. No doubt. I have one
Okay.
question actually. This is all theoretical. Yeah, it's nice
Yeah.
actually. What will be the role and everything? What will be the task of a data engineer? But the concept is, or the lecture is about Azure data engineering. So can you tell me about how Azure is involved? Uh, I'm interested in
Sir,
that.
next.
Azure.
Yes, sir. Sir, next thing I'm coming to that, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So I just gave an outline of data engineering, sir, not Azure data engineering. That's what I said. First, let's talk
Yeah,
about data
I
engineering.
understand. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So wrapping up this, we got this on data engineering. You people got it clarity right now. As I said here in my paint, sir, there is something from Microsoft in my first explanation. Tool C. What is Azure Data Engineering is a set of services stack offered by Microsoft hosted on its cloud Azure. Okay. So Azure is a for Azure is a cloud. Cloud is also now, like, before going to cloud. So Azure is one of the cloud products from Microsoft. Okay. So what are the things you are working on now? All these tools, everything,
Hmm.
what I said, these architecture, these things, hosted on your Azure cloud. So that's why we are calling
Okay.
it as an Azure data engine. So Microsoft providing their own set of tools in its
Oh,
own cloud. Okay.
okay.
So Azure is a
Fine.
product from Microsoft. Azure is a product from Microsoft. Cloud product. So what is cloud?
Okay.
That next demo will be on what is cloud, sir. Okay. Today the demo is about data
Okay.
engineering. Next demo will be on what is cloud. See. So what is cloud?
Okay.
What is data warehouse? These things next demo, sir. Okay.
Okay.
So I today as an for every beginner. So first I want to say what is data engineering. I give data engineering, sir, today. Tomorrow's class will be on cloud again.
Okay.
Okay. So what is cloud? Second demo. Then I will interlate these
Okay.
two things. Fine, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine, fine. One more question.
Yeah.
Uh, See, I haven't done anything related to Azure, like any kind of certification. Kind of, I'm fresher for Azure. So, can you tell
Okay.
me? See, this is very interesting. My experience is also in that data extraction, data cleaning using Python actually. So it's very interesting, fine. But I'm not aware of anything. I mean, I have done anything related to Azure. So, can you suggest how will be the path? I mean, firstly, I should go for Azure DevOps, then this course, or
Sir, sir, first point,
what
sir.
will be
First,
the
next, sir, next I'm going to
uh,
so keep it cloud aside. Now I am saying, so what is required for learning data engineering first, okay? So needed to learn to become a data engineer. So any data engineer, not only on Azure. So cloud is an hosting side. Cloud is nothing but an hosting service. So what are the basic tools and basic languages? So first one, SQL. If you are good at SQL, oh, fine. Next, second thing, Python. Basics of Python. I am not saying like your oops concepts of Python. Some basic concepts of Python. Because here we use
correct.
something called PySpark. PySpark, okay, for data cleaning or pandas.
Oh, okay.
So if you are as a data engineer, if you are good with your PySpark, fine. If you are good with pandas also, it's
Okay.
fine. If you are good with SQL, it's very fine because everyone knows SQL in the
Okay.
market. Okay, and
Okay.
and people have the next question: what we gonna learn in this Azure data engineering tools? Tomorrow on cloud, I will give you,
Okay.
but let me give you some idea on that. First, why this Azure data engineering popular in the market? There are other clouds, right? You have a GCP cloud, you have a AWS cloud. You people have heard about that. By but why is the Azure data engineering popular in the market? First one, Azure cloud
Okay.
licenses are cheaper than other clouds. Okay,
Okay.
pricing is cheaper. Second, you have an, as I said, SSIS Informatica, like that. Azure introduced a tool called ADF, Azure Data Factory, zero coding tool. So any person from any background can learn the tool if you have the wish to learn. First thing, zero coding. That means 90% coding less, 10% you need to do. Like you, so you need to have like how to combine the functions, okay, expressions. So
Okay.
everything is predefined.
Okay.
Okay, zero coding, 90% coding less, 10% because I am giving 10%, but it's not 10% also. Third thing,
Okay.
Azure has integrated with what are all the third-party services we used to work earlier. They integrated with and created this that third-party services in the single cloud. Okay, so that if I was a business owner, if I opt Azure cloud, I have everything ready-made available there. I don't need to purchase and go to every vendor. I need your service.
Okay.
So as a data engineer, what is required, everything well versed there only. So buy a just go to Microsoft, take that Azure subscription. So next concept will be on cloud, right? Take that Azure subscription, everything will be predefined there. So you don't need to follow up with different teams. Okay. And someone people said DevOps, right? Hello.
Right.
So
Yes. Yes.
if you
Yeah.
look for other clouds, so for implementing DevOps, sir, so you need to again the same story, sir. Third party services on AWS or your GCP, everything. But what Microsoft is done is like they introduce the protocol Azure DevOps directly. So what are the
Okay.
Jenkins, what are the monitoring tools, everything. They build their own tools so that you can use it directly instead of I goting. So if someone is an AWS DevOps developer, sir, so you need to have a Jenkins, you need to have a Kubernetes, everything, right?
Correct.
So here in
Correct.
Azure they give Azure Kubernetes service directly. You can just within simple clicks you can directly use that
Okay.
Azure Kubernetes service. Azure with Jenkins.
Okay.
So they give everything there itself. So if I was a business, if I start a business, everything ready made there. So why will I go to other cloud? And why should I suffer
Right.
like getting to other service and installing, asking permission? I will be installing in my cloud in this cloud. So when there is, so that's what Azure data engineering top scale in the market, sir. Now comparing to other clouds because everything ready made, zero coding tool. Okay, and
Okay.
other service, third party service like Azure Databricks, same thing, same Databricks on your Azure, same service Databricks which you will be using. If you learn here, you can use it anywhere. Same coding, no change. Just cloud name will change. Same
Okay.
coding, same environment, everything. Databricks. Either it will be your AWS, it can be your GCP. Same coding, no change. So when I get everything in one place, why will I go to other clouds, sir? That's why Azure Data Engineering top in the market today.
Okay.
And so what
Okay.
are we going to learn as a now? Let's go to our course content. Okay. Next thing. So let's go to our course contents or next thing. See, so we learn today about data engineering. Tomorrow, so what is as I said,
Okay.
introduction to Azure. Next, we go for storage accounts. Okay. Hello. Next,
Yeah.
we go for
Yeah.
storage for your data. So we discuss different types of storages. What is given by Microsoft. Next, ADF zero coding tool as I said.
Okay.
Next, I will go with event hubs for event hubs and synapse. What is synapse? Synapse analytics. It's a mixture of service again. Then Databricks.
Okay.
Fine. And then I'll go for a project. So in ADF I'll give a project. After Databricks I'll give you some project explanation and
Okay.
I'll show you some files real time things. Okay. And if you some and resume
Okay.
preparation. So this is
Okay.
how we go. And coming to some of our certifications. What is the certification you will do here? You will get it here, right? Next question.
Yeah.
So certification part coming to. So DP203 is the certification, sir. Earlier it's DP. Earlier it was used to be DP 200 and DP 201 when we started data engineering career. Now they made it, they mixed all the services and made a single certification called DP203.
Okay.
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 So in this
Okay.
DP203, what you will get? What I said, your data factory again same. ADF, Databricks, storage account, the same thing. If you want to check with my content with certification, Go type it DP203. See, designing data engineering.
Okay.
So what we kept in our, see, if you go for silver skills, same thing. See,
Okay.
data warehouse, what we kept it, the same thing. Okay, will be there. So you can check. So 90% will be match. Okay. Any changes
Hmm.
if Microsoft done, so it will be updating that. Okay.
Okay.
Will you provide dumps also for the certification?
Dumps means, madam, it will be changed, madam. I can't assure you. Today will be one dumps, and after course it may be the other dumps. Okay. See, they are seeing. See, the English version exam will be updated on May 4, 2023. So when we complete the course, it may change the dumps again. Okay.
Okay. But it's okay,
Right.
at least previous ones you can share, right? Just to see.
Yeah, previous ones we can share, madam. Okay. Fine, sir. Any doubts here?
No, no, sir.
So see, the database what I said, same thing will be there, sir. So they are updating it, they are removing it, and they are doing some add-ons. So I'll be checking every day. Set what are the add-ons and what are the removals, or whether they are separating it to different certification. Okay, fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Before we wind up today's session, any doubts, everyone? Hello.
No, no, sir. No.
No, sir, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Okay, fine, sir. Then other things, what you will get it, sir, in this training. First, first thing again. Next thing, assignments, sir, every day. It's up to you if you work or not, but I will give assignments. Second thing, interview questions. Who are preparing for interviews, sir? Interview questions will be covered. Okay, and documentation, sir. Like PDF will be provided. Materials, sir. Materials. Okay. You'll get weekly, sir. Okay. Don't ask me every day. You'll get weekly. What are the
Okay.
topics covered? We'll send it on weekly basis because we had an issue earlier. So we were sending every day. Means few people are complaining, right? We have got it. We have not got it. So which person got which day's material? We don't have an idea, sir. Okay. So every week, what are the concepts covered? That will be you will get on your Friday, end of the day. Okay, Friday or Saturday morning. Okay,
Okay.
and as I said, project explanation. So project. So whatever we done, everything will be project, sir. Whatever I teach in the class, the whatever we implement in real time, I will take a use case and I'll explain it here. Okay,
Yeah. Also,
fine. These are the
can I know this class is going to be recording, sir, every day or?
yeah, every day recordings will get, sir. That's what material will get on weekday by Saturday, but recordings every day will get it.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
And
Yes.
also you are going to cover to get a certification, right? And the course.
Dump side user certification you need to do, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Certification you need to do, sir. That I cannot do, sir. Okay. I will give you old ups. Okay. So you prepare it. Whatever it is, you just go to the site I showed you, right? Compare with that and study that. Okay. So you will clear it, sir.
Yeah. Got it.
Is
What's
it
right?
Monday to Friday or Saturday?
Sir, based on the people locations, your coordinator will inform you, sir. Okay. Monday to Friday will be there. Saturday, if Indians are there, it will be on Saturday, Tuesday to Saturday. For if the abroad people are also there, so based on the daylight savings and everything, your coordinator will inform you, sir. Okay.
In general, do you have classes in weekends or?
Weekends, sir. Some weekends there will be workshops. If people are interested, you can join. So like if they are freshers, we'll be keeping some workshop on Git, sir. Sometimes. Okay.
Okay. In general, it is Monday to Friday, right?
Generally, it's Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, as I said, will be there. You'll get invites if something. If you doesn't know that topic, you can join. So this is not into the course, but these are out of the course. Suppose someone doesn't have an idea on DevOps, so if they want to join, what is DevOps introductory session? So because we'll be using DevOps here, we'll be using Git here. Okay, someone a new guy fresher, they doesn't know anything, they can join that workshop on that day, Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
What about practice? How are you giving any subscription sort of thing, or
Sir, you can create your free subscription, sir. Or else, if you want someone, I'll give you a pass to buy Azure platform as service. I'll give you the details. You can buy passes from them. Okay? They'll give some
no, no,
$100 or some.
whatever you explain in class, if you need to practice on the fly, where we need to do the just its free tail account doesn't work or doesn't support all the functions which you teach in the class, right?
Yes, sir.
How
That's
are you
what I
going to
say, sir.
manage the things? Yeah.
Sir, for free drives, for now, people are they are getting their own passes, sir. Okay? Platform as service. Okay? If something you
Okay.
want a passes, check with your coordinators. Okay?
So how are you going to design a project at the end of the course? Put
Sir,
on the
from
basic
the start,
functions, or yeah. See, you told you will
sir,
be walking us through real-time scenarios. If you want to practice them, or if you need to do a project based on that, these free passes will not support that functions or methods whichever you're going to teach us in the real time, right?
yes, sir.
How are
For
you
that
going
only
to
people
manage
are
that?
getting their sir passes. We are not providing, sir. Okay? So people are getting their own
Okay.
passes. Okay?
What do you mean by own passes?
That platform as service passes, people are getting it, sir. So for US, for US, for whom it is, they will get their university passes, sir, directly. So from Indians, the few people you go with free times, okay, and they will get passes at the end, like buying an pass from Microsoft, which will support all the services. They give around some $100 for 1,000 rupees or something. 150 USD for
Oh,
1,000 rupees or something. They will give you can use it for 1 month. The service will be supported. This is the, or else you can make it your own subscription platform as you go, so that you can build it by yourself. Okay.
understood.
Yeah. See, sir, this is the product architecture, sir. Okay. This is a real-time architecture. Hello. Hello. See,
Yeah,
here
yes, sir.
we'll
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
Power BI and reporting. We won't teach, sir. Okay. So because it's a different module again, we will see getting from different sources, ADF, ADB. So we'll teach this. Okay. Fine. Any doubts? Hello.
Nothing, sir. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sir.
good.
Before we wind up, any doubts, sir? Okay, sir. Then next class will be on cloud computing and how to create your free accounts. Okay. What is Azure Cloud and these things will be the next class. Fine.
Yes.
Or else, sir, last question. Can I know how many days the course duration?
45 to 60 days course duration. So because that's what I said, based on like US people holidays, these things, so your coordinates will inform that, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Course duration will be 45 to 60 days. So if someone, people, if everyone needed something, people will ask us like we did earlier something. Then we will keep on Saturdays, weekends. So based on your request, it's not like
Yeah, got it.
anything, but
Yeah, got it.
people's request. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So who are going to prepare for interviews? You will be cracking it, sir. Like yourself. It's like one may miss, but by in 2 3 you will crack by yourself. Okay. And you can like
Okay.
whatever we are teaching. If someone is new beginner, so if someone want to use the technology, they can manage it for 6 to 8 months, sir. After that, your skills. Okay. Someone join newly in an organization. It's some like keeping I see like people switching their career from one technology to other. So they can manage for 6 months. Okay. After that, your as I said, your manageable skills and your how you learn in the 6 months. Okay,
Okay.
fine. Sir, any doubts, sir? Before we wind up, everyone. Okay, sir.
Nothing, sir.
Then
Yeah,
thanks,
we are.
Thank you.
thanks everyone. Thanks
Yeah,
for your
thank you.
insight.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Bye. We'll see you in the next class.